Rolex is more than a watch, it is a legacy. In a world where time equals money, Rolex is the ultimate currency. Make time unforgettable with its remarkable legacy, breathtaking designs, and consistent dedication to quality. Wilsdorf, an orphan boy to the crown owner of Rolex, where memories are made. Hans Wilsdorf was born on March 22, 1881, in Kulmbach. He was the second son of a family of 3 children. At the age of 12, he became an orphan. Being a teenager, it was a pity miserable to them. Hans' uncle took them to Switzerland and looked after the responsibilities of 3 and sold the flourishing family business of iron tools. Despite this, they all received an excellent education in boarding. Since his teenage years, he was a very mature, active, and self-made person, capable of maintaining things and managing them according to his instinct, and they worked out well. His uncle also knew how to set their mind and made them independent since childhood. He appreciated his uncle's efforts and considered it a key to his success in the future. Mathematics, history, and language inspired him. He polished himself in this diameter, and this led him to travel nationwide. Firstly, he started his career as an apprentice with an influential international pearl exporting company at the age of 19. Hans gained enough experience according to his basic needs, and this luckily helped him out in the future. He started his career with Kuno Court as English correspondent and clerk in watch firm of Messrs. His first salary was about 80 Swiss francs. He exported 1 million francs pocket watches and deal with all kinds of watches. Business was started with small number of watches to million per year. He worked as a supervisor to check accuracy of hundreds of Swiss watches and packed them in an effective way. Under the supremacy of Kuno Court, he gained tremendous knowledge about watchmaking, which helped him out. In 1903, he moved to London for work in another watch firm, but in 1905 he decided to start his own business at the age of 24. For this purpose, he partnered with his brother-in-law, Alfred James Davis, and set their business name as Wilsdorf and Davis, located at Hatton Garden, London. The main purpose of this firm was to provide high-quality timepieces at affordable prices, and they achieved the goal. In the early decades of 1900s, pocket watches were everywhere, and wristwatches were under fashion. But Henz believed wristwatches were more valuable as compared to pocket, and set his mission to popularize wristwatches. In 1902, he learned about Hermann Agler in Bienne, Switzerland, who started small liver wristwatch business, and in 1905, Wilsdorf placed a significant order for wristlet watches, marking the start of a long-lasting partnership, which lasted until Rolex acquired Agler a century later. Dive into 1908. The year of Rolex appeared in the history of watches as a giant by name and by quality. He once disclosed the truth about the word Rolex, how this word came in front of and boosted itself like a fire. He stated, during travel in double Dakar at London, he combined more than 100 words to be fit in as their logo, but nothing worked. Suddenly a good genie whispered in his ears the word Rolex. The glimpse of the word Rolex appeared in a fortunate way. They wanted a name that was short, easy to remember, and looked great on the dial of the watches. So Rolex was chosen. In 1914, a decade after Wilsdorf moved to London, World War I broke out. Wilsdorf changed the name of Wilsdorf and Davis to the Rolex Watch Company. On July 14, 1914, Rolex was awarded by Class A certificate from the Kew Observatory. He predicted that wristwatches would replace pocket watches, stating, "I am not mistaken in this opinion, and you will see that I am right." In 1915, due to a 33% customs duty implemented by the British government, Rolex relocated its international headquarters from London to Bienne, Switzerland. In 1919, the headquarters was moved to Geneva, Switzerland, where it is still located today. Once the founders had decided on the name, the next exciting step was creating the perfect logo. They personally designed the iconic Rolex crown logo, which was officially trademarked in 1925. In 1927, Rolex patented and launched the waterproof watch, the Rolex Oyster. They used a unique marketing strategy, providing exclusive dealers with window displays featuring an aquarium with goldfish and a Rolex Oyster wristwatch. Rolex's first brand ambassador was swimmer Mercedes Gleitz, followed by land speed record holder Sir Malcolm Campbell. In 1931, Rolex introduced an automatic wristwatch called the Rolex Perpetual. During World War II, Royal Air Force pilots began buying Rolex watches to replace their standard issues. When their watches were taken in POW camps, Wilsdorf offered to replace them at no cost until the end of the war. In any case, they wrote an explanation and got a new one also included in the offer. After his wife's death in 1944 due to illness, he decided to donate his property to foundation established by him in 1945. So, in 1960, he transferred his ownership of Rolex to the foundation. The foundation now owns and manages Rolex and contributes a massive portion of its earnings to charitable and social causes in Geneva. One more masterpiece launched by Rolex, named the Rolex Date Adjust, in 1945, Rolex introduced a wristwatch with an aperture window that automatically displayed the date via a date wheel and was seen on the wrists of world leaders, including Sir Winston Churchill and U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower. In 1946, he established Tudor as a subsidiary company of Rolex to offer a more affordable alternative to Rolex watches. While maintaining high quality, he decided to form a separate company with the object of making and marketing this new watch. It is called the Tudor Watch Company. Day by day, milestones added to the chain of Rolex. In 1954, Rolex made a tool watch called the GMT Master. The watch had all the usual Rolex features, like a tight oyster case, perpetual movement, and luminous hands and markers. What made the GMT Master special was its 24-hour hand, designed to keep time in a second time zone. It was made for Pan American Airways pilots, navigators, and world travelers. In 1955, Rolex introduced the day-date model, featuring day and date aperture windows. It was like the Rolex Date, but with a thicker case. The Rolex Milligauss, introduced in 1956 with reference number 6541, was designed with special anti-magnetic features to stand up to 1000 Gauss for scientists working in magnetism-prone environments. The original Milligauss featured a lightning bolt-shaped second hand and resembled the Rolex Submariner. Hans Wilsdorf died in Geneva, Switzerland on July 6, 1960. He was buried in King's Cemetery in Geneva. The Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, established in 1945, still owns and controls Rolex. Hans Wilsdorf's story is a testament to innovation and the pursuit of perfection. Rolex continues to be a leading luxury watch brand, synonymous with excellence and precision, timeless luxury indeed. Hans Wilsdorf Rolex legacy continues to inspire generations.